guys, TinaGale here, and I am back with another layout. Today I wanted to do something quick since I had to take yesterday off, and thank you guys for all of your sweet comments. I did have a lot of fun. But today I'm focusing on a quick layout using very little product. So sometimes people think it's too expensive to scrapbook, which is what kept me out of it for a long time, and it can be. But this layout uses a one strip of paper that's about 3 inches, this little border strip, and that's all the pattern paper, one sheet of cardstock, and some embellishments. So that is really inexpensive to get some photos down on some pretty paper, and I think this layout turned out really, really gorgeous, and it was so quick to put together. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I just cut the strips for up at the top. I was going through the paper to try to decide if I wanted to mat the photos, and I ended up deciding not to. But I did decide I wanted to cut out the scalloped on this border so that it would stand out a little bit more. And so I cut that out with my scissors, and I went ahead and cut the camera off. I didn't think you needed to watch me fussy cut that little scalloped. And then while I was off camera, I decided to go ahead and do some stitching. Now, I would have loved to have done the hand stitching, and this collection is Paige Evans' Oh My Heart collection, so it definitely needed some hand stitching because of Paige Evans. But because of time restraints, I just took it to the sewing machine. And I showed you down here at the bottom, I added just this little tiny strip at the bottom, and I was so intent on making sure the zigzag went across the paper and stuff that I wasn't paying attention, and my paper moved from the bottom of the cardstock. So there's a little bump down there. So I just took a black marker and filled in the bottom so it wasn't like a honking white strip at the bottom. So I could have taken it all apart and put it on another piece of white cardstock, but it wasn't too awfully bad. Just left it. Decided to point it out to you guys in case you didn't notice it, but that's my big oops for this layout. Okay, so I have all of that done. That probably took more time than the embellishing did. So this literally took me 30 minutes, maybe less, to put this layout together. I had the ephemera pack for this. I have the little charms. I had the chipboard stickers. And then that little moments is from Elle Studio. It's an acrylic word. And one of the things on my list for my videos to try to use are some of the words that I have. I have a lot of word thickers. I have a couple of these acrylic words. I have wood veneer words. And I just don't use them. I'm not very good with titles, and they just sit in my drawer. So I went and pulled a few out that would work for a title. And I loved this little moments, just the white on the white, keeping with this really simple layout. And it ends up making it on the layout. So that's the only thing that's not from the Oh My Heart collection is that little acrylic word. I pulled out the flowers from the ephemera pack, and you saw me, and I may still yet go back and forth with the red flowers, because in the one photo to the right there's a red picnic bench, the door to the shop is red, the sign is red, so I thought, oh, that would look really good and I could use those up, but it just didn't go with the paper that I had on there. There wasn't really anything else red other than in the photo, so I nix them, put them back to the side, and just stick with the colors that are up in the pattern paper, that minty kind of green and the 2 tones of pink, and that's pretty much it. I loved this little die cut here that says Feel Beautiful Today, because in the photo on the left, my daughter is trying on this crown. We had went shopping. This was on her birthday. So I always try to take the kids just on a special day, just me and them, and do whatever they want to do. So we had went to the city and went antique shopping. We have a small little town that's a suburb of the city. It's not really a small town, but they're known for their antiques, and she loves stuff like that. So we went antique shopping. We had heard about this little bakery, so we went there. And I have more pictures from this day that I'm going to put together, but these were just a couple of shots at the bakery and then one of the antique stores. So yeah, I love that little word, and the little moments just comes from because we just had little places that we had always wanted to go to, but we don't take the time to do because it's either a drive or, you know, something like that. So that's what all these pictures are about. Then up here on the top, I had cut away on one of the pattern papers. They had this little banner that says, "It's your day." So I just cut it, kind of cut a banner at the end of it, and then decided to hang this charm off of it. So I just took some embroidery floss, and it was some that had already been separated, so it's just 3 strands. And I kind of wish I'd went back and got the full 6 strands to do it, because I struggled with it, and it's not in totally cute, but it's okay. It will do. But I just tied a bow around it and then wrapped it around that little black die cut, and I'm going to pop dot it up there. And then I got my glue dots to just put a little bit more security because I didn't want that thread to come off, and went ahead and put a glue dot on the charm. Then I decided, since I had that little moments, I needed to figure out how to attach it. I went ahead and used these glue dots. I'm hoping it works. I normally use a wet glue, but these were sitting here, so I just decided to go ahead and try them. So I tried to put several on there. As of right now, it seems like it's holding really well to the acrylic and the paper, so hopefully it will stay. Yeah, I had to make sure that title was straight, since my photos, I kind of angled those a little bit and don't do well with angles. I went ahead and I adhered these flowers down, and while I was voiceovering this, I noticed originally I had that large pink flower at the bottom with the green leaves going more out towards the left, and I kept struggling with this cluster down here, feeling like it was falling off the page and it wasn't going diagonally as much as what I wanted, because I went ahead and put all my embellishments diagonal from the top right to the bottom left. And the reason that it looks that way is because the leaves and then the little white flowers are going more down to the bottom and bringing it back. So since I finished this layout and I've watched this, I went and picked up that flower and put it back the way I had originally before I picked it up to glue it down, and forgot how I had it. So that's one thing that I don't really like when you look at it here. Those flowers, or those leaves, are going the wrong direction. So it will look better putting it the way that I originally had it. I wanted to repeat some of this copper foiling throughout, so I had put the 2 hearts down there. That helped to bring that embellishment off the page to the left, but moving that flower for the leaves to go that direction, and the leaves are kind of between, where that big heart's between the 2 leaves. Added the other little brassy brassy flower sticker, and then that scalloped at the bottom of the photos and the heart strip. At the very end, I'm sitting here looking because that one's bothering me, and I'm still thinking I need something up at the top. So I added this copper foil flower behind the title, and that was the perfect finishing touch. So once I fixed the flower and fixed this one up here, and that was it. This layout is done. I'm going to add the date. I wanted to add in one of the cut-aparts that had the little to-do list or today list, to list all the places that we went, but I really liked how the layout looked. It was just so clean and so pretty. I didn't really want to add anything in. So I'm going to hold that thought off to add to the other photos that I have from this day, and hopefully get that in there. So stay tuned, you'll see the rest of those. Here's some still shots. Thanks so much for watching and understanding me taking the day off yesterday. I had a lot of fun, and so I'll have some updates on that soon. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.